In today's video, I show you how to adjust the TPS on the ITBs, and we get Hondata installed and do a little pull. So let's go ahead and get started. God bless you and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. Today's video, we are going to be getting the K-Pro installed in the ECU. I'm here at Bmw Motorsports in Killeen, and Eric's going to be doing some soldering, getting that thing installed, and we'll go over a little bit more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little chip you got to install.
Bro, look at this. And you see that little chip?
Uh-huh. Wow.
I have to install that. I have to remove first the old one, but
Wow. That thing's tiny.
it is tiny. I have to use the microscopes.
And this is why I bring it to the pro. I wouldn't trust myself with that.
I mean, you cannot even do it yourself because they have to be certified for Hondata.
Right.
But even that, if you don't get the training for it, it's super hard. Even me having the training, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard, man.
Well, but every time that I brought it to you, it's always worked. So it's all that matters to me.
We try to do that best. Our best. Look at this thing. So,
Like micro soldering.
yeah, that's pretty much.
Little thing. Wow. That is tiny.
It is tiny.
That's awesome. But yeah, definitely come to him for a K-Pro or Hondata install, like S300, stuff like that. He can do all that here. Plus now he's able to do some alignments and stuff. So he's real good with the lowered cars. So I know a lot of people have asked that question, does he do lowered cars? Now it may need like adjustable camber or something like that to get in the proper ranges and some you know, bolts and stuff like that, like where they have the camber bolts.
I'm glad you clarified that because some people don't understand.
Right.
I can't do so much if you don't have the right part, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that goes for anything, really. It's like when people bring cars on the dyno and they don't have them fully done, and it's like, it needs a tune, but this still needs work done. So you need to go back and do the work first before bringing the car in for a tune. Makes his job just a little bit easier, and it will save you some money, because if not, he's gonna have to fix all that and charge you for it, because, you know, it's work. But that's why I try to get as much done on my cars, get them as taken care of mechanically as I can before bringing them in. But yeah, definitely doing a good job, and I'm gonna let him keep doing that. We'll go do a little walk around. I'll show you the alignment rack and stuff like that. He's really busy today, but this is the new alignment rack, and it has all the calibrations and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely something that he can do now, which is awesome. And for the people who didn't see this in the dyno video, this is his all-motor K24 that runs 8 seconds in the 8-second class now, and it's awesome, just absolutely awesome. He's got the, I believe, 65 or 70 millimeter throttle bodies on the ITBs on his. The drag cartel kit, it's pretty nice. And individual coils, those things are absolutely crazy. The Fuel Tech ignition coils, those things are absolutely insane. Put out a lot of volts. I can't remember how much, but it was, well, it's way more than enough to kill you. It's craziness. But I'm gonna go back in and check the progress of the ECU. All right, so he's finishing up. He had to go and grind the case so that way it fits the port. But yeah, getting that all finished up, and then we can get that thrown in. We're not gonna be doing any dyno tuning today or anything like that, but getting that in is one of the big things that we need to do before we can even get the car here and throw a little base map on it and stuff. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. All right, so now time to get this installed. Huge shout out to Eric at Bmw Motorsports in Killeen, Texas. Information for his shop and everything will be in the description. This is what it comes with if you've never had Hondata. It comes with the cable, which is basically a cable for a printer, just so you guys know if you ever want to get a longer one. It comes with these little pieces that go on the inside. You can use them for auxiliary wideband inputs, nitrous inputs, or anything like that. And no, before you guys ask, I'm not doing nitrous on this build, at least not right now. It's not the plan, at least. Comes with the cool little Hondata stickers and, of course, the little tag cover. So when you get a Hondata, that's what it comes with. And of course, Eric did an awesome job getting it all installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it put in the car, and then we are gonna calibrate the TPS and go over that information. Okay, real quick, I wanted to show you, I put the BMW throttle position sensor for a 325i, I believe it was a 2001 throttle position sensor with wiring, and I wired it up. That right there on screen, you can go ahead and pause it if you need to, so you can see exactly how I wired it up. But basically wired that up, and I put it on the passenger side of the ITB because if this is not the correct orientation, it will snap the inside. So one thing I recommend is when you're testing it, just go ahead and move the throttle with it held there. And if it starts to move it, then that's definitely not the right side. I first tried it on this side and it didn't work well. So that's what I had to do, is put it on this side. Not much room for adjustability. One thing I recommend is drilling out the inside a little bit more to kind of adjust it a little bit. But I've also heard that the 1993 Ford Mustang 3-wire TPS fits as well. So you could give that a shot if you want to try that. But I got that at the junkyard and it seems to be working. So everything's looking good under here. So now it's time to go in. All right, got the Hondata installed. Now we're going to go ahead and click the new calibration. We have a drop-down menu here, Civic SI, since that's what this is. We're going to go with the factory calibration. And we're going to go to the parameters up here. First thing, we're going to go to the idle. Since I don't have an air idle control valve, go ahead and disable that. Bring the RPMs up to 850. That's just what I like to do. Then we'll click that throttle right there. And we're going to go ahead and turn the key to the on position. Okay. And then we are going to have to upload this first. So we're going to go ahead and hit upload. Now, right now, before we go any further, click that lightning bolt and then the display button. Click that, and you can see it says we're at 35-36% TPS without touching the gas. And when I floor it, we're at 113%. So to calibrate that, go back to the parameters, make sure you're on throttle. Then we're going to go ahead and click read right now on the minimum reading, and then we're going to fully floor it and click read and see what it says. So then we're going to upload that. Then we'll go back to the display. Move this out of the way. Go ahead and click the lightning bolt. Now it says 0%, and when I floor it, 103%. That's a lot better, and Eric will be able to use that to adjust the tune way easier. So that's just like the main things I recommend doing before getting your car to a dyno if you have Hondata. Just make sure the throttle's set, because a lot of the time the throttle being off will affect the tune big time. So the idle should be good. We don't have any check engine codes, so we're going to go ahead and fire it up. Well, the throttle response is there, so that's good. It should be drivable now. So we're going to go ahead and check the display. The air fuels are a little bit rich. Now this is using the factory wideband. I haven't hooked up an aftermarket one or anything. But we like to see 13 to 14 idling. 14 to 15 is pretty good too, because it's a little bit lean, and it's okay to be lean when you're cruising and just light, you know, like at idling. But when you're full throttle, it shouldn't be anywhere near 14 to 15. So yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take it down the road and make sure it's just driving fine and all that. But this is just a base map to kind of get it going. So we'll see how it responds to actually driving down the road. Okay, I did go ahead and add some fuel to the entire map just to be safe, just in case it is pulling in more air with the ITBs and it leans out a little bit. I added more fuel, so we should be good there. All right, so far it seems to be doing pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get on it a little bit. All right, felt pretty responsive. check over the data log when we get back. But so far, seems to be running pretty smooth and driving pretty good. All right, so I stopped over at Matt's after beating him up. That's why he's got that on there. No. But I wanted to show you guys this real quick. The air fuels, right when I floored it, got 12s, and then it drops all the way into the 11s, then spikes up to almost a 13, and then 11s, and then 12, 13, 12, 13, low 13, high 12, and then I let off. So that's telling me it definitely needs tuned. But it seems to be pretty responsive, so I'm pretty impressed with it. You ready to see it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo. Keep forgetting about those strong arms, dude. Every time I open it,
right. Yeah, these things are awesome, by the way. I'll link them in the description if I didn't in a previous video. But what do you think?
Crap.
It's pretty crazy, right?
It is crazy.
I mean, they're only 52 millimeter throttle bodies,
yeah,
which is like good because I think the factory's around 65. So that's actually a lot of air for this motor.
On every cylinder, though.
Yeah, on every cylinder it has 52 millimeters. And the BMW TPS over there,
yeah,
apparently you can use a Ford Mustang one as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that, or I probably would have went with the Mustang because there's lots of them in the junkyard.
Yeah.
But there's
pony parts everywhere.
But yeah, it's actually doing really, really good. Pretty responsive. Of course, I can't go too crazy because it still needs tuned, but it is on a stock map. I added more fuel, as you can definitely tell, because it was running rich.
Yeah.
I'd rather be safe, though.
But that's good. That's
Yeah,
what you want.
it's fantastic. I also have an air filter design that I'm going to be doing on these. I'll be 3D printing with high temp filament, just this piece right here. And then I have a little filter that'll go on each one of them. It's going to be really cool, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. I'm basically going to be 3D scanning this because I got a 3D scanner. So all I have to do is get an Android phone, which I don't have, but I know someone who does. So I'm going to have to borrow your phone. But it'll be really cool. For the time being, I'm just going to be running a screen door mesh, you know, like for screen doors. So that way no big bugs or anything gets in there, no rocks, nothing like that.
That makes sense.
If it's raining, I'll probably not be able to drive it till I get the air filters because they're actually waterproof. So it'll be really cool setup when it's done. And it'll still be day lead, so
That's really clean looking.
it's definitely awesome. I cannot wait to see what it does on the dyno with an A3. It made 165 at its peak without those.
I saw
no
that, which
tune.
is actually really good.
Yeah, completely stock. No ECU mods in or anything yet.
That means it was really healthy.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm really excited. I don't know what it's going to make because I don't know how much this A3 can actually cram air in because of the small cam. This isn't the Type R, so this isn't the Type R engine. It's the K20A3 basic, the basic SI motor, just with a little bit of mods here. But I do plan on swapping in the K20A2 Type S head, which I have sitting at home, with the TSX K24A2 cams, which are the big lobes. And that'll definitely wake it up, probably 30-40 horsepower or more, depending on the tune and how free-flowing the exhaust is and stuff like that. Yeah. But we're looking at right around 250 is what I'm shooting for. I'll be impressed if it goes over that, but I've seen them go over that before. So it should be pretty impressive.
I think that's a
And we really do need to race
estimate.
This time, though.
Yes, we do.
Because that's long overdue. Everyone wants to see that car running. I don't care if it's this or if it was the Type S. Now, the Type S one was complicated because you were really busy and couldn't go to the track and, you know, all that. But that's okay. We are going to somehow race each other. I really don't care who wins. I just want to see it and have video footage of front and back and everything. Just kind of, it'll be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine, I think, does definitely need a touch up on the tune.
Oh, it will, because I've already talked to Eric and we're gonna figure that out for you. So
Cool.
that's definitely gonna happen. Obviously, you're shifting hand right now.
Yeah,
Can't do that right
gimpy.
now. Yeah, it'd be just use it as an excuse. It was a slow shift because I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly,
you know,
exactly.
that's why I missed a gear.
If I do it right, though, I shouldn't have to. So.
Right. But yeah, it's definitely responsive, and I am super happy with it.
It's really cool. So this controls all of them,
Yep,
right?
it does. And each one of them has a little piece in here that moves individually, but it's all
For individual adjustment.
Yep. And it's already adjusted good right out of the box. I haven't had to do any adjustments. All the throttles seem to be opening pretty in sync. So
That's really cool.
Yeah, and Eric's really excited to get this going too. And we've got the Hondata in it, so obviously we can do that
This
now.
is a very common build.
Right, and it's a cheap brand, so it's not like huge like drag cartel like Eric has drag cartel.
Yeah.
These are not drag cartel. These are OBX. These are the knockoff of Kinsler, I believe is what the brand is. And there's a few other out there like I can't remember off the top of my head. I think 4Piston has some. But either way, they work. They're cheap.
Budget build stuff.
Right.
Which
and
is good because nobody has a lot of money right now.
Right, and I don't. I mean, this is a whole budget build, this whole thing. I mean, it's a spray can paint job, guys. So, I mean, which still looks really good, 2K cleared.
Really good.
I have it wet sanded and buffed, but hey, you know what? It's dirty right now, and it looks good. 1 second place at a car show, so it can't be too bad.
No,
for a budget paint job.
It's actually really, really good.
But yeah, I'm going to catch up with him, and then we'll get back to the house and go over that data log a little bit more in depth. So hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you are, please hit that like button. Praise God, there it is, running really good, and it's not even fully adjusted on the tune. We just have a base map to go off of. Eric will really get this thing dialed in. I'm really excited to see what it makes on the dyno, and I made a little deal with my buddy Matt, who you just seen. I told him if this makes over 200 horsepower without the A2 head and all that, then I'm going to leave it as it is. But if it doesn't, I'll throw the A2 head and the K24 cams in. I think that's a little challenge that I'm just putting out there. I don't think it will make over 200, but Eric is really good at what he does, so we'll be able to see for sure once it gets on the dyno. But what do you guys think? You think it'll make like 180? If it makes 199, that's not over 200. I'm still going to throw the head on. But I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think, and we could always change the deal up and see what happens and go off of that. But it's just a little idea I had. But let me know what you guys think for sure. We're going to go over that data log real quick. I wanted to show you this real quick. All right, so right here, when I fully floored it, it was in the lower 13s there, as you see. And then when VTEC engaged, it dipped into the 12s. Which means it definitely needs adjusted, especially in the VTEC range. The other area is not too bad, but all motor is a little different than boost, so don't freak out when you see those 13 numbers there. But yeah, I mean, it's not too terribly rich, but you can definitely tell it needs adjusted, and Eric will definitely take care of all of that. But overall, I'm really impressed with how it drives. But that's basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There will definitely be more content coming soon, if God is willing. If I missed something, definitely let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular about the ITBs that you wanted to know. I'm still learning just as much as you guys are. I think there's only one thing else that I'd like to mention. This PCV valve right here, a lot of people don't hook them up, but I highly recommend doing that. If we have this hooked up to the vacuum source, which I do right here, that will cause the crankcase pressure to be less, so it actually sucks it through the motor. A lot of people don't like that, but it does reduce your crank pressure, so it's really good. If you're a turbo setup, it actually sucks the oil out of the turbo return with it having vacuum. Obviously you don't want boost going in there, and I think it has a check valve so boost can't go in there, but it will always allow it to be sucked out so you can get the crank pressure released a little bit. Also, this here will be plugged up since we have the catch can lines, but I can feel some crank pressure coming out of here. So I may be able to get a 3-port catch can and run all 3 into it, but if not, I'll just be putting a block plug there, just like it has on the back, just like that, those little plugs, but it'll be going on that other spot over here. So it's definitely doing really good, and I think at this point we're ready to just get it on the dyno, but we got to work around Eric's schedule. So there should be a video coming out soon on all of that, so definitely stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and follow us along on this budget build. These ITBs were not sponsored or anything like that, so they were fairly inexpensive. If you want to find more information, I'll try to link videos in the description of me unboxing these and everything else, and I got them from walmart.com. That's really crazy, but they're OBX brand and they're really not too bad. So I'm going to get some of that mesh screen to put here so that we don't suck bugs in there when I drive it to the dyno, and that way we can have it protected, and I will be doing the filter setup, so you definitely want to stay tuned. But that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. If you enjoy the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, but here is my outro.
God bless, stay safe, stay awesome. Jesus loves you.